Imagine watching the markets slow to a crawl, the relentless climb of growth fading into distant memory, leaving behind a world that feels cold, stagnant, suffocating. Imagine waking up each day and finding the usual levers of profit no longer respond. No matter how sharp the analysis, no matter how aggressive the strategy, it feels like you're fighting ghosts, a relentless battle against forces that no longer bend, no longer stretch. The truth hitting you with brutal clarity: growth is dying. Economies that once soared are now limping, weighed down by debt, demographics, and a world that's simply grown tired. And hedge funds, the sharpest, the most nimble players in the game, now cast into shadows, questioning if the whole model can survive in a world where nothing grows anymore. The pressure, the unpredictability, the palpable uncertainty, this is not just discomfort, it's a reckoning. The world, as it's been known, is fracturing. The old scripts are useless, and your instincts feel outdated. For every investor watching this today, this hits at the core. How to find light when the future dims. How to thrive when the entire system that built your edge collapses beneath you. This is not a drill. The stakes couldn't be higher. The mistakes now aren't just minor hiccups. They are the difference between fading into obscurity and rising stronger than ever before. Because the reality is brutal. If hedge funds cling to old formulas, betting on traditional growth, assuming markets will recover and climb, they will falter, become irrelevant, swallowed by a new tide. But here's the hardest truth. None of this is fate. It's a challenge, a call for rebellion, for transformation. It's time to stop begging for growth to return and start mastering the new game in a world without it. Welcome to a landscape where survival demands ruthless clarity and fierce adaptability. Growth isn't coming back, at least not like before. So what does that mean? It means every strategy anchored to expansion is a sinking ship. The world is shifting deeper into value preservation, risk mitigation, and extreme differentiation. The next era belongs not to those chasing growth, but to those who learn to squeeze opportunity from scarcity, from volatility, from structures unraveling. It's about finding the cracks amidst the collapse and pouring fuel into those tiny flames that will ignite new ways to generate alpha. Right now, your biggest opponent isn't the market, it's obsolete thinking. It's the refusal to shed comfort and convenience. It's the hesitation to reject what worked yesterday because it feels safe, familiar, predictable. But safety is the luxury the past granted. The future demands boldness. Those who rebel, who dare to rethink every assumption, hold a different truth. They stop waiting for external conditions to improve and start creating their own conditions. They stop being prisoners of an illusion that growth defines success and realize its adaptability, creativity, and unyielding resilience that mark the winners. Forget about trying to predict long cycles or economic rebounds fueled by central bank tapering or government stimulus. The new hedge fund frontier is in mastering the art of degrowth investing. Yes, finding profit in contraction, in disruption, in chaos. How? By embracing strategies that protect capital fiercely while hunting for asymmetric returns in unorthodox places. Distressed assets, complex derivatives, alternative credit, adaptive quant models that thrive on rare extreme events rather than steady gains. Opportunistic short selling targeted not at cycling luck, but systemic weaknesses that only become visible when markets falter. Above all, integrating a relentless focus on structural shifts, demographic upheavals, technological disruptions, shifting geopolitical power plays, because in a world without growth, the landscape is being redrawn beneath everyone's feet. Conventional wisdom tells you growth equals profit, but exceptional funds see growth through a different lens. Growth is a byproduct of transformation. Where others see decline, you see evolution. Behind every fading giant is a hidden microcosm of explosive innovation or arbitrage waiting to be unlocked. Understanding this means moving from surface-level data to deep fundamental insight, to align capital with pockets of radical change. The future isn't about being big. It's about being nimble, precise, and connected to those few sparks that ignite big shifts. But doing this demands more than just changing portfolio allocation. It demands a mindset revolution. The world's systems are broken, yes, but hedge funds are not just capital machines. They are networks of human ingenuity. The real secret no one talks about is this: the greatest alpha will come from collaboration among the rare few, not crowds, not mass consensus. This is the time to break from the herd mentality that's dragged so many into mediocrity under the guise of diversification. Instead, it's about selective alignment, connecting with other exceptional minds, cross-pollinating ideas in a way that creates synergy no algorithm can replicate. This isn't communal kumbaya. It's strategic, ruthless networking to leverage complementarities in expertise, intuition, and insight that power moves beyond numbers. Hedge funds that thrive will become microcosms of autism-resistant ecosystems where every single connection adds extraordinary value. This is about putting ego aside and building real alliances that transcend borders, sectors, and asset classes. Because in a world where markets don't grow, isolated brilliance is useless. Power emerges from unity among the few who dare to think differently. And here's a secret weapon too few will access: patience. In the absence of growth, impatience kills returns. The pressure to perform every quarter, to chase every headline, has to give way to a long-game strategy that embraces uncertainty and complexity. It's about recognizing that the market's future is not linear, but fractal, chaotic patterns where timing and perspective matter more than brute force. Hedge funds must learn the art of timing asymmetry, identifying inflection points where market disorder breeds opportunity. This demands discipline, not desperation. The final edge comes from embracing freedom in the purest sense, the freedom to question everything, to reject legacy assumptions, to practice sovereign thinking that refuses to be boxed in by past rules or external narratives. Hedge funds must break free from old ties to growth-based metrics, and instead embody a ruthless freedom to redefine value itself. This isn't just financial strategy, it's philosophy. It's a radical unlearning that clears the decks for true innovation. Know this: the world buried the exceptional under layers of noise and complacency. Hedge funds have the chance, the responsibility to uncover and unify those who refuse to settle. To create a living network where misaligned brilliance becomes aligned force and where the few become the powerful many. This isn't propaganda, it's survival. It's the blueprint for a future where hedge funds don't just endure but dominate. A future forged by people who refuse to live borrowed lives, who burn rather than bend, who rise by transforming rather than conforming. So for everyone watching this now, burdened by doubt, daunted by a no-growth horizon, here's the clarion call. The game has changed, the rules are gone, and the old paths lead nowhere. Your challenge, your opportunity, your revolution is to embrace the chaos, sharpen your edge, build connections that matter, and cultivate patience as a weapon. Step beyond illusion, step into a future shaped by those bold enough to let go of the false promise of growth and seize power in the new reality. Growth may have died, but the fight, your fight, is just beginning. And in that fight, hedge funds can become the architects of the extraordinary. Because when everything else decays, innovation, rebellion, and raw, unfiltered willpower become the currency of success. The world may have changed, but the power to rewrite the future hasn't left. It's waiting in the hands of those who dare to claim it.